Good day. This is Letitia with Soul Spread Wisdom. And today I want to talk about working with the goddess Oshun for those who have a debilitated Venus. If you were born with Venus in your natal chart in the sign of Aries, Scorpio, or Virgo, then the Venus is in a detriment or fall. It's in a fall if it's in the sign of Virgo because it is exalted in the sign of Pisces. Venus is at home in the signs of Libra and Taurus. So if you have Venus in the sign of Aries or in the sign of Scorpio, then Venus is in detriment. Also, if you have Venus in the natal chart making a harsh aspect or hard aspect, that is a square or an opposition or conjunction to Pluto, to Mars, or to Saturn. Any of these can cause um, relationships to be quite challenging throughout your life. And this can show up in romantic relationships. It can show up in relationships with siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, co-workers, employers, employees. Over time, you will see a pattern of what love is looking like. And if you have, Venus with Saturn, Venus in an opposition with Saturn, then love can seem very cold. Love can seem as if it is just out of your grasp. If you have it in Aries or Scorpio, Venus, that is, in Aries or Scorpio, then love can be very combative. If you have Venus in a harsh aspect with Mars, love can be very combative. You can find that you are constantly having love relationships or relationships with anyone else where there is a constant competition, constant struggle, and so you're not receiving the benefits of that Venus. And Venus in the fifth house is normally a great place, but if you have it conjunct Saturn, if you have it conjunct Mars, then Venus um, doesn't really get to experience what love and kindness and um, friendship and tenderness is like. It can oftentimes be very challenging and very hard for Venus to bring forth her very best if she is in a challenging place. And so when we look to astrological magic, and this is a part of the ancient astrology, there is a book called The Picatrix. And within the Picatrix, it helps us understand how to work with the planets in order to help debilitated planetary placements. And so, for those of us who are a part of the diaspora, we have the ability to tap into the goddess Oshun in the way that we would tap into working with the planet Venus. So, as it relates to what is being told to us through ancient astrology and the Picatrix. So, the Picatrix explains that you can work with Venus if you have a debilitated Venus, or if you have a debilitated Saturn or Jupiter, then you can work to build a relationship with those planets so that the planet will operate better for you. So within the Picatrix, it's explaining that you can create a talisman, or you can do, various offerings to the planets in order to receive the goodness and win over the favor of that planet. Well, for those of us, again, who are part of the diaspora, we can do the very same with the deities that are part of the Yoruba tradition. So Venus is well known that Venus and Oshun have many of the same characteristics. So Oshun is not Venus. It is not the same goddess. They don't have the same days of honor. They don't have the same colors of honor. But if you work with the goddess Oshun, and you bring offerings to Oshun, wearing Oshun's colors and working with her on her day, then Oshun will give to you the benefits of her sweet water, which is kindness, which is love, which is diplomacy, which is an ability to receive her warmth. And it will begin to show up in your life by way of your relationships and by way of your income, because Venus rules money. Oshun also rules money. She brings money to you. So even as it is explained in the Picatrix, that you wear the corresponding colors of Venus and so forth, and you um, would bring the offerings of herbs and candle to Venus, the same you would do with Oshun. So if you find that this is an area for you where you've really struggled in love relationships, Oshun can help you. And I am a witness that Oshun can help you in this area and bring her tenderness and bring her softness to your life. And when she does that, within yourself, you will begin to have that healing to where Venus has been in a receiving harsh aspects or receiving coldness. So, as for myself, I have Venus in the sign of Aries, and it is making a square to Mars. It is also making a square to Saturn, and it is in opposition to Pluto. And so I began working with Oshun some months ago. I was reluctant when I first began to work with Oshun because I just because that part within myself of loving kindness and tenderness had been so wounded and so scarred and so traumatized by the aspects that are being made to Venus, and the fact that Venus is in detriment in my chart. um I was reluctant. It was easier for me to work with the other deities of the Yoruba tradition, but it was very difficult for me to work with Oshun. But I was very much prompted to. Oshun showed up in my dreams, to let me know that she wanted to work with me, and I still was reluctant to work with Oshun because of how I viewed myself. I, just on studying Oshun, realizing that she is this goddess of beauty and tenderness, and I did not relate to those parts of myself as a woman because of the Martian energy that I have with my Venus placement and the aspects that are being made to it. But I came to Oshun on honesty. I came to this beautiful, sweet goddess and said to her, I don't feel like I belong. I don't feel that I can relate to you, but I want to know how. Um, I want to be sweeter. I want to have better relationships. I want to have your tenderness as a part of my life. And in that, I, consistently went back, week after week on her day, making, offerings, and communing with her so that we can build a relationship. And it was soon after that I felt her tenderness, I felt her kindness, and it had become a part of me. Me being more tender to myself, and then more tender and more compassionate with other people, not so critical, not so quick to be harsh, so quick to judge, not so quick to be cutting towards people. And with that, I have absolutely reaped the benefits in my relationships, in my familial relationships and friendship relationships. And that is the goal. That is the goal. And when we look to the patakis of Oshun, there is one that is very well known, And this is a particular story where Oshun went in to get Ogun. Everyone else had tried to get Ogun. He had gone into the forest and would not come out. You know, Ogun carries the energy of the planet Mars, and you know is a great warrior and rules steel and all of this. So there is this coldness and this workaholic part of Ogun, and so he had gone into the forest and had just abandoned people altogether, but they needed him to come out, you know, as the blacksmith. They needed him to come out of the forest, and all of the other Orisha had tried to get him to come out, but it was Oshun with her tenderness, her ability to be diplomatic and to meet people where they are, and to um, be kind and understanding that you can draw more flies with honey than you can with salt and vinegar. So with Oshun, she was able to go in and she was able to take the honey from her honey pot um, and place it on Ogun's lips. She didn't have to use words. She knew how to just move and sway and dance and move her body. And Ogun followed her out of that forest, out of that dark place, because she knew how to use her kindness, her femininity, um, to connect with this man. And you know, this is what we want. This is what we want to be able to receive if we have a debilitated Venus. And again, working with Oshun can bring us this. She will give us her kindness. She will give us her ability um, to be kind and receive kindness. You know, very simply said. And then there is another pataki of Oshun, and in this particular story, um, Olodumare had caused a drought. There was a drought on the land because the people did not appreciate the rain and the gifts of the fruits of the land. So there was a drought. And in this particular Pataki, Oshun takes on, she is in the form of a peacock, a very beautiful, majestic bird with all of the pretty colors. And all of the other Orisha wanted to go up and intercede for the people so that the rain could return, because the people were praying. They were praying to the Orisha, please help us. You know, our cattle are dying, our animals, our lambs are dying, and they need the rain. We need harvest to come back again. And so all of the other Orisha tried to go up, but they could not get past the sun's rays. They didn't have the strength and the fortitude to go. So Oshun asked and begged for them to allow her to go because she is the youngest of the Orisha. Finally, they said, "Okay, go ahead." You know, they didn't believe that she would actually be able to make it. And she flew and flew, and it was difficult, and she was horribly burned by the sun's rays. But she made it up to Olodumare so that she could intercede for the people. But by the time that she made it, she was black and marred and burned, and her feathers had been burned off, and she had taken on the form of a vulture. She had become a vulture. And she had done this because of her love for humanity and her love and care and compassion for the people. And as she was up and she was exhausted, and you know, smoke was coming from her skin, and she lay there, and she was attended by those up with Olodumare. Her wounds were attended to. And because of this, because of her bravery and her fortitude and her love and compassion, she was afforded the title and offered the title of the messenger for Olodumare, which is a great honor that was bestowed upon her. So for us, with this, we can take away the fact that, you know, the vulture is a creature who will go and get, it's a huge bird that has an ability to go and eat up the dead carcasses, the animals that would poison the land with their rotting flesh. And so the vulture comes down and it eats that up. It eats up the dead flesh so that the land would not be poisoned. That is the job of the vulture. And it can smell death, you know, from miles away up in the sky. It can smell when death is coming so that it is there to eat up that necrosis and dead tissue. So for us who talk to Oshun and work with Oshun, Oshun will come in and heal and eat up that, all of that, those wounds from the past and all of that trauma that we have experienced. And in return, there will be healed flesh anew, all of that scar tissue gone, all of those old past hurts that inhibited us and kept us from being able to love and being able to receive love. And when we have those harsh aspects to our Venus, oftentimes we don't even think that we are worth loving. Oftentimes we don't think that we can give love because we have up such blocks and such scar tissue that we keep ourselves from giving and receiving love. But working with Oshun, she will go in as the vulture and remove all of that scar tissue. And there will be, you know, a fresh heart that is able to love and able to be kind and expect kindness and expect love to come. And that is the sweetness of Oshun. So I want to leave you with just some things about working with Oshun, as we understand with, you know, through astrological magic. And the beauty of ancient astrology is that it brings this understanding of working with the planets as entities. And so when we do that, we are able to look at it as you are bringing in a guest into your home. And this is the ancient way of thinking. Someone who comes into your home, they are honored. You bring them the things that they like so that they will feel comfortable, so that they will want to stay because it's lovely at your place, because they have things around them that feel most comfortable, because it is valuable to your guest. So when you are working with a deity, you want them to come and to stay and bring their gifts because you have made it such a place that is um, such a place that feels like home to them so that they can come and stay and dwell. So, in that, working with Oshun, we want to use the colors that she really likes that make her feel the most comfortable. So, for Oshun, you can set up a small altar. You can use a small table, or you can use a TV tray. Before you do that, though, you want to make sure that you are working with your ancestors. Before you reach out to any deity, you want to make sure that you have an altar space that is set up for your ancestors and communing with your ancestors, because your ancestors are your first line of protection in the spirit realm and in the natural realm. And they will fight for you and they will protect you. Now, after you have established your relationship with your ancestors and are caring for their altar and making sure that they have water and candlelight and they have a nice white cloth on the altar, and you bring them some candy or some food, then you can begin to work with Oshun, or if you have another planet that is in detriment, you can begin to work with another deity. But the ancestors come first, or the the um, the deities of the Yoruba tribe or the Yoruba land, they will not come and work with you. They will not work with you. Oshun, Ogun, any of those deities will not work with you if you have skipped your ancestors. They won't answer you. They won't receive you. It is a waste of your time to bypass your ancestors. So, okay, so you have everything straight with your ancestors, and you have a debilitated Venus. Things are challenging, and you want to receive Oshun's kindness and love. This is what you can do. So, you have your table, you have your TV tray, and you can spread over it a gold, a yellow, or an orange cloth, because these are colors that Oshun likes. These are her colors that she responds to, that make her feel at home. You can set up a white candle. It's best if you have a candle that is in a glass because it is safer that way. You can use a yellow candle if you can find one. If you don't have one, you can always use a white candle. You can always use a white candle. It's never in error to use a white candle. Then you can offer Oshun a glass of water, a clear glass with water in it. Okay. And so you have this. Her days are Thursday or Saturday. It just depends on what you have. It's Thursday. If you are working with your Maya's day is Saturday. So Thursday is a day that you can work with Oshun. And then you have food that you can offer Oshun. So Oshun likes to have fruit, sweet fruit. She likes oranges and pineapples and banana because they're yellow. Her number is 5. So if you serve her oranges, you can serve her 5 slices of orange, or you can serve her 5 oranges. Honey is her most sacred food. So you can offer her honey on the oranges per se. If you were serving her oranges, or if you were serving her pineapple, you can put some honey on top of it. But you want to taste the honey first. So if you are standing in front of her altar, you want to taste the honey first to let her know that it is not poisoned, because in one of the patakis, she was poisoned by honey. So she will not receive the honey if you just pour the honey there on the plate on the altar, if you have not tasted it first in front of the altar. So you just do a little taste test to let her know that it's safe, and then you can pour the honey. um, she also likes herbs. Herbs bring strength to the deities. Herbs are one of the most powerful spirits that are here. And so when you work with herbs, they bring great energy to whatever your project is, and they bring great energy to the deity. So the herbs that Oshun likes are, I have it listed here. She likes to have star anise, pink salt, white sesame seeds, rosemary, orange peel, cinnamon, caraway seeds, and mint. So all of these will strengthen her so that she will be able to help you with healing your hurt Venus, the wounds of your Venus that you have in your natal chart, and the trauma associated with that. You can also set up on her altar, you can give her a mirror, because she likes to have a mirror, like a handheld cosmetic mirror. You can set that up for her. You can also give her jewelry things, gold earrings or gold ring. You can give her anything that is copper. She likes copper. She likes gold, because those are her colors that bring her strength and honor. Um, you can also use like the little rocks, like the little white rocks or blue rocks, blue-green rocks that you would find at the river, because she is a river goddess. She is a water goddess. And so these are things that you can do just to get started. You don't have to give all of these at one time. You can just bring just a little bit at a time, because you want to work with her every week over time, come and commune with her on Thursday and spend some time. You can pour her a cup of coffee, have the water, have the candlelight, and just talk to her and let her know. Give her thanks for healing you, for healing that Venus in your chart, to add to you. Thank her for adding to you love and kindness and friendship and a love relationship and sweetness in all of your relationships, if that is what you want. And she will bring that to you. She will help you in that area to heal. And you'll be able to see the difference, and it won't take very long. Okay, so that is all that I had. I just wanted to offer that to you. If you have any questions, you can email me at info@soulspreadwisdom.com. On soulspreadwisdom.com, at my website, I have written this up in a blog, all of this, and with what you can use for the altar and so forth. And that is all that I have. I thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment if you have worked with Oshun. If you are interested in working with Oshun, please leave a comment, and I will definitely respond. If you would like to have a reading with me, I offer astrological readings and tarot readings as well. I offer synastry readings for love relationships, electional astrology readings, birth chart readings, various readings. And you can find all of that at soulspreadwisdom.com. And I say to you, Ashe, Ashe, Asheo, Yud He Vav He.